This is my joint. Oh, jeez. Other side looking in. Understand now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Special type of you do the way you do. High and low. Another you, another you. And it's hard, I know. She's hard to go. It's okay to be you, 'cause you are different. You ain't like none of them. Jeez, I had a whole style kicker. Ooh, in the stars, supposed to be who you are. Do you? It's okay to be. Do your thing, eh? Do your thing, yeah. Eh. Do your thing, eh? Do your thing, yeah. Do your thing, hey. Yup, yup. That's right. You're just gonna vibe out for a minute. Also, in case you ain't know, so rhymes, also the some, also the most. And I am your host for Culture and Culture. Let's start the conversation. But before we do that, let's keep vibing. Go. Uh. Feel the show. It's okay to be you. Uh huh. Ain't like none of them. Your own style, your own. And baby, that's cool. Jeez. Style. Jeez. Hey, just do your thing. Just do your thing. Do you? Do your thing. Do your thing? Yeah. Uh. Yeah, man. Mm. What the word is, y'all? How y'all doing? How you feel? It's another glorious Wednesday. You know, I'm live in the building. Y'all looking at my broke up repeater and thing. Can't have nothing nice. um, Pardon me. Yeah, man. I hope you're good. I hope you're feeling good. I hope things is vibing for you. It's a glorious Wednesday. What is it, December 3rd? Y'all probably gonna see this one next week. Um, like, subscribe, share, do all of that wonderful stuff that YouTube algorithm loves to do in order to highlight this channel, this platform, these videos. Um, I'm learning in the background, doing work in the background and stuff, and I hope you see the improvements as time goes on. Please comment on the post. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you dislike. Let me know things you would like me to talk about. Um, or something that you want me to revisit. If there's a guest that you saw in the show um, that you think I should bring back, let me know. If there's somebody you think I should seek out to try and get on the platform, let me know. Um, I just want to see this grow. I just want to see the people from the community get their opportunity to shine, get their opportunity to be heard. You know, those are the things that I'm hoping for. Um, I let off with that track, "Be You" by Ashley Du Bois. I'm not sure exactly how I pronounce the last name. Dubose. Um, it's an older song. I just discovered it like maybe a year ago or something like that. But I love this record. I love this record, BU, and I think it's so fitting because recently I've had a lot of scenarios and situations that have reminded me that I need to stand firm in the person that I am, um, regardless of the circumstance or the scenarios. And I think that's important that we discuss and we highlight that and we bring that to the forefront. I know the last time I was here by myself, I was saying, man, be you. You know what I'm saying? And it's along the same energy. I'm praying that everybody finds the strength and the courage to be themselves, to be comfortable in their own skin, to not have themselves dictated by the career that they have or don't have, by the relationships they don't have, by the clothes or accessories or material things that they have or don't have. That that those are all man-made things, so they can't make you or break you unless you allow it to. Right. The most important thing is your mental fortitude, and um, I hope and pray that folks are finding their strength each day to improve on that and to focus on improving on that. You know, um, as of recently, like it's not even as of recently, man. It's an ongoing thing, man. Doing this work gets difficult at times because there are some thank yous, there are some genuinely gracious and appreciative people, but every so often that noise gets drowned out by the unappreciative and the entitled. You know what I mean? Um, and it ain't my place to call anybody out or anything like that because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just speaking of what I'm observing and sharing it as food for thought, and then you can analyze it for yourself and see whether you agree with it or not, right? Um, but doing this type of work, especially in this building here, it gets very difficult because people expect a lot, and we don't really have a lot to give. Like I won't speak for myself, my personal experience, but there's a lot of things that I do that is above beyond um, what my role entails, and I'm happy to do it. But at the same time, I gotta be mindful of the way that I do it and how often I do it because I'm gonna burn myself out in one aspect, and the other aspect I'm gonna neglect other aspects of my life that need attention to. Right. Um, I was reminded about being myself because I was um, informed. I don't want to say reminded, but informed that there are still some people that have their opinions of me. Um, and don't get it twisted. I don't care. Whatever your opinion is of me, it is of me. That's perfectly fine. As long as it isn't trying to physically harm me or my family or put any of that in jeopardy. Your opinion is your opinion. You're entitled to it. It might even be justified. But my one thing is always, I mean, I don't know how justifiable it is if you can't just address me with it. Because anybody who knows me knows, like, I'm approachable. And you can talk to me, we can have a conversation, we can resolve whatever it is. If it's something that you don't want to have a conversation about, then it kind of speaks for itself, you know? But like, so as an example, I was told that some people think that I'm cocky or arrogant in some aspect, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Because I lack so much confidence for my entire life. I've just always been a very introverted, shy kid, fairly antisocial. And a big part of that comes from the fact that I can't, I don't feel like I can trust people to be genuine. I feel like a lot of people put on airs for folks depending on how they want to utilize you. So let me underline this first. Everybody uses people. And using people isn't necessarily a bad thing. how you use people is how you use people and how it affects that person is what determines it a good or bad thing, right? And for a big portion of my life, I feel, in retrospect, that I was used in not such a favorable way, um, for myself, right? And that's my bad, plain and simple. That is my bad because I am supposed to advocate for myself. Now, as a grown person, that's exactly what I do. Is I advocate for myself, and I do what serves my spirit best. So, with that being said, if you saw me somewhere and I said hello, but I didn't say your name, 9 times out of 10, here's the truth out the bag: I don't remember your name. I'm sorry. And I've felt guilty about that for a lot of years. Sometimes even if I can make eye contact, I'll wave or whatnot, or creep over and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Just to get your attention. But if I can't remember your name and I can't get your attention, then I try and slip off without that awkward scenario. Not a good habit at all. Horrible way of addressing it, but I'm bad with remembering names, and a big part of that is I meet a lot of people, and it's not an excuse; it's a reality. I meet a lot of people, and for every name of somebody that I'm introduced to, I lose a name or two. It's just what it is. Like, I've always heard that saying, like your brain is a computer with storage, and when that storage is full, it's got to delete some stuff. And names is one of those things that definitely gets deleted. In some cases, faces too. Um, but I can honestly say, like, I honestly meet about 200 to 300 people every year. If I ain't seen you in a month or more, there's a high probability I probably forgotten your name. If I do remember your name, it could be one of two things. Either we had a horrible interaction and it's etched in my brain for that, or um, we had an incredible interaction over a period of time. Right, you were in my program for a few months, or we worked side by side for a few weeks, or something like that. Then your name will etch in. But even then, in some cases, if I ain't seen you in a year since, the next time I might see you, it might not click right away. Um, so I think that was one of the things that was said, and where people think that I'm stush or I'm cocky or whatever. And everybody's entitled to their opinions, but um, it just reminds me that I shouldn't be so uh, prejudiced in the way I view people, based off of one interaction. You know what I mean? You never know exactly where somebody's head's at, what spirit mode they're in at that point in time, what headspace they're in at that point in time. Like, anything could be happening, right? So unless that person directly disrespected me, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt and brush it off, and I'm gonna keep that same loving energy the next time I interact with that person. Um, but yeah, I just say that to say, man, there are a lot of people out there that have me confused. They got me twisted. You know what I mean? They're going off of what so and so said, and I'll by all means let you do that if that's what you want to do. I'm not gonna fight you on it. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over an inaccurate perspective. But if you feel that I did do something wrong to you, you feel that there is a flaw of mine, and you see me on a purpose, just this is my advice on how to address with me, and my advice on how to address with people in general. Excuse me. You know what? Oh, can I talk to you for a quick second, man? Um, just wanted to mention, man, the other day, like, I was walking, da 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 da, and I saw you and I went to hail you up, and like you just breezed past me. I'm like, what was up with that? Or I felt like I came to you one time and I asked for something, and you didn't come through with it, bro, and I was disappointed with that, man. I thought you were my guy. I thought you know what I mean, let me down. And like, I may just be like, shoot, you know what? You were 10,000%, bro. Right, bro. I apologize. How can I make that right? Or I might be like, no, 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 no. this is actually what happened, and that's why that couldn't work. You know what I'm saying? Or this is why I couldn't do that. Da, 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 da. But again, when it comes to this platform, the one thing I've realized is having conversations resolves so many issues, because we're trained to make assumptions about so many things, and quite frankly, we assume wrong a lot of the times. Right? Hence why that saying uh, makes an ass of you and me. Right? It's that, man. Like, please don't assume with me, y'all. Have a conversation. We can work it out. We can figure it out. We can get to that point where things went wrong. We can sort that. We can repair that. If you don't want to repair it, that's cool. I'm good too, because for the majority of things, I'm out the way. Like, I am so out of the way at all. There's what is for me is for me. What's for you is for you. I'm a wholehearted believer in that. So there is no way that we'll ever um, cross paths in disagreement in my as far as my book. You know what I mean? I only go for the things that is meant for me, and that's offered for me. And anything that isn't, I'm congratulatory of. And I keep it pushing. I keep it moving. Um, yeah, and that's that. The other thing I wanted to speak about, and shout out to Benzo, man. I said it to him the other day when he was here on the pod, and I want to highlight it again, man. That self drive, that self motivation to get up each day and learn something new and pursue something different, and pursue a dream or a passion. Um, he embodies that, and I appreciate that he spoke on the platform about how he embodies that and how he came up with that lone wolf mentality. Because really, this world is you versus you. That's what it is. It's you versus you. It's you versus your discipline, your habits, your laziness, your motivation, your urges. Like, it's you versus all of that. And can you keep them in control? You're gonna allow them to control you, right? So with that being said, like, one of the hardest things, and I was debating about something about this with the community, is what one of the hardest things with the community is, I'm flattered and I'm honored that I'm looked at as somebody who can provide an avenue for change and be a representative for change and an advocate for change. However, that doesn't absolve you from having to do your own set of work to make that change happen as well. And I feel it very important to bring that up, simply because too often I witness um, people complaining about an issue, but when presented with a genuine step they can take in order to assist in remedying the issue, there's an issue taken with that, right? Or if, like, there was a specific scenario where um, somebody was addressing me with an issue that they have within the area, and it wasn't the first time it was addressed. And I didn't disagree with the issue that they had, but after hearing the complaint a couple of times, I had to turn around and be like, well, I understand, but one, I have no say in the scenario. I can just advocate for you. Two, when we have these meetings that take place in the building, the and there's powers that be that are there, and I'm asking you to come through to this meetings and sit down, and you don't sit down, that hinders the progress of what you're trying to chase versus anything that I can do. And of course, I got cussed out for saying that, because I'm pointing the finger back at them, right? So I got cussed out for that. And quite frankly, we still don't speak till this day. I have no ill will towards the person. Haven't really bumped into or seen the person in a minute, but I have no ill will. And whatever issue they have with me is cool. I'll hug that, right? But I stand by what I say. Like, I work in this building. And if you know anything about the Alexandra Park area, the residents have say, right? Tridell's there, cool. TCH is there, cool. But the residents in AP have say that holds weight. I am no longer a resident. I am employee here to serve the community. So I do my best to do that. But as the residents and as the actual members of the community that live here and are here every day, your voice echoes way louder than mine's ever could. So I'm not going to step back on saying that the folks with the power need to be there representing themselves as well. And then I can jump in behind you and be a hype man and all of that stuff, but I can't do it for you. And unfortunately, I feel like that's a very hood mentality that's been adopted by so many, and it's very difficult to shake it off. Like, it took me a very long time to actually shake that off. That mentality of this person ain't doing this and they ain't doing that, and this person did this and they need to do this and da 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 da, and this. I've done my best to stop doing this and start doing, hold on. Okay, what is my responsibility in this? What is my role in this? I didn't like what happened there. What was my role in that? Oh, I was instigating. Okay, let me stop being an instigator. Oh, I was funding it. Okay, let me stop funding that. Oh, I was silent when I should have said, okay, maybe I'll start speaking up more. Right? I do my best to look at what my participation was in the issue and how to remedy that. Do I just take my participation away? Do I need to participate more? Do I need to be more vocal? Do I need to be more physically active? What is it that I need to do to help the situation? And I've taken that mentality because everybody's pointing. Right? I think on the episode with Trevor, I said I was talking with a dude from the area, and he was like, man, like, these kids ain't got nobody to look up to. They don't got no role models. And I'm like, why not you? You know what I mean? You're praising me for being a role model, but I'm not different than you. I was you. I was actually deeper than a lot of these cats, but Jah willing, the universe willing, whatever you want to call it, I managed to dig my way up out of that and be in the position that I am in now to continually grow and elevate and as constantly my challenge is why look at me like I'm some type of out of this world human being or something that is just completely unattainable and unrealistic to be. Like, I don't get it. Right? We are all very capable. There's nothing that I'm doing that you can't do. I just might put in a little more effort to make it actually happen. That's the big difference, right? And I can't say this enough. When I'm speaking to you here, if you ever see me, we're speaking one-on-one in person, my goal is not to make you feel bad. My goal is to make you feel empowered. The most important thing for me, the most empowering thing for me was to understand that all the bad things that happened with me or whatnot were all within my control. I made a decision that was not favorable for me. And that's what led to that scenario. So, oh shit, all I got to do is make a better decision. Easy. You know what I'm saying? And you might say it doesn't seem easy, but once you make the main thing, it's very easy. Like, when I stop caring about other opinions, I stop caring about whether I stop caring, like, I gotta check for this person because, you know what I mean? I ain't seen this person in a while. Maybe go check them, and you know what I mean? Because I gotta go show up and show love and da da da. I don't gotta do a damn thing but live. You know what I'm saying? One of my best friends in the world is Vinci. I don't see him on a regular basis. I don't even talk to him on a consistent basis like that, but the energy don't change. I go down to visit him, it's love same way. I give him a call, it's love same way. His kids are like my kids are like his kids, and vice versa. There's no, and it's not monetary, it's not nothing like that. Like if I got something, he got it. You know what I mean? And I'll help him where I can, but it has nothing to do with that. I just genuinely appreciate him as a human being. You know what I mean? In the city, there are certain people like that where 5 years can go by, and when I see that person, on the day I see that person, it's not but love. It's nothing but love. Nothing's changed. Like no time has passed. Nothing. And that just speaks to the intentions. I found that in a lot of cases where there's some bitter and resentment, there was something that was desired from me that I decided to cut off, and now they don't like me anymore. Cool. If you genuinely like me, you'd understand why I'm pulling back on that. Why I have to. It's for survival, nothing else. Right? Like, I love myself, and in learning how to actually love myself, a big part of that was understanding I did have to put myself ahead of people. And it's not an arrogance thing, it's not a cockiness thing, it's just I am responsible for taking care of me. That is my responsibility. If I am taken care of, then I can take care of you. But if I'm not taken care of, there's no possible way, even if I want to, I am unable to take care of you because I have no idea what taking care of a person is, because I don't do it for myself. It's almost like saying, okay, I'm going to cook you a steak. But if I've never made steak before, what business do I got trying to cook you some steak? I'm going to F that up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to F that up. But if I've tried cooking myself a steak enough times to the point that I perfected it and I understand what I'm doing and what temperature and how long I got to do and when I got to flip it and how to season it up, if I've mastered that, then I can turn around and say, you know what? Let me cook a meal for you. Free of charge. I'm just going to cook a meal for you. Or it's going to cost you this or whatever the case may be. But I have to do that shadow work by myself in the dark first before I can even possibly look to help people. And I had to look at myself and realistically have that conversation. Like, bro, you can't help nobody if you ain't taking care of yourself. You can't show nobody love if you don't know how to love yourself. And that was a hard conversation to have with myself. The conversation with the I'm talking with the man in the MJ track. Yeah. Having that conversation with that person in the mirror is the toughest conversation you will ever have, but it's also the most necessary conversation you need to have. And you need to be dead honest. And it's going to hurt. It hurts to admit that you're wrong about something. It hurts to admit that you got duped. It hurts to admit that you fell for the okie doke and all of that. It hurts. But the sooner that you go through that hurt, the sooner that you can actually heal from it. You know what I mean? Like you turn an ankle, you break a thing, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? And you break that bone and they gotta reset that. Woo! That hurts. But you gotta go through that pain in order to allow it to reset, to allow it to sit, to allow the bonds of thing to rehab to recommit, like to the bonding to happen and all of that. And then once it happens, then you can slowly start doing the work. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You got to go through those painful conversations, and they go and hurt. And you know, I cried. I did all of that. I did all of that. You know what I mean? Found time by myself. Shout out to my OG who told me sometimes, man, as a man, you just gotta go under your bridge and shed a 2-tear by yourself and do what you gotta do by yourself so you can fix up and get back out there and do your thing. Right? Because I'm not ashamed to say that I've cried, but I know that people will take advantage of that, and that'll put me in another compromising position. So that's where it made sense for me to isolate myself, so I can deal with my emotions myself, right, and get that energy that was in motion released, so that I don't take it out on the wrong person in the wrong fashion. We got way too many penitentiaries and jailhouses full of people who didn't understand how to release that energy and motion, right? Um, Conversation is very important. Um, there's a book. Um, there's a book I want to recommend for y'all. As a matter of fact, give me a second. Let me go get it. I'm back. All right. All right. So yeah, I said there's a book that I wanted to recommend for y'all. It's the book right here. You see it? Racial Trauma Recovery, Healing Our Past Using Rhythm and Processing, or rap. Shout out to David Archer. And shout out to Donna Harrell, for inviting me to take part in workshops and discussion and actually editing the video. First off, for the ripple effect, when when she interviewed David Archer, um, and then sitting in on a workshop with them and whatnot, extremely beneficial for me. Going through the therapy process, that was one aspect, but this book and his therapy process, known as rap, rhythm and processing, I didn't even realize I was doing that myself anyways. But in going through that myself and then hearing about his process, I was like, oh yeah, that works. I know it works 'cause it worked for me. um if you can, go get this book, right, by David Archer. It's a picture of the gentleman on the back right there. Hold on, it's this way, man. Shout out to Mr. Archer. Um, Very beneficial for me. That book helped me a lot. There was that book. That was The Way of the Spirit Man. There was Atomic Habits, and there was The Power of Now. Those four books, and The Seed of the Soul. Those five books, um, heavily contributed to the mental stability I feel I have at this point in time today. Um, but it's very important to have those tough conversations with yourself. Take care of that inner child that's inside, cowering, hurt, and resentful and wanting to fight the world. That inner child needs more care. That's your franchise player, your MVP. That's who you need to take care of first before you do anything else. Lord knows I wouldn't be able to be the man for my family that my family needs if I had not taken care of the inner child, and if I'm not mindfully taking care of that inner child today, because it's not a one-time fix. You got to constantly rebuild that relationship. Hence that the this so on this YouTube channel there are also music videos. I got a video called Daddy's Home, and that track is dedicated to my inner child. I know it says for Amias, but that is actually dedicated to 10-year-old also, 9, 10-year-old also, right? Maybe even younger, really, to be honest with you, but not here nor there. Have that conversation with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Don't pussyfoot around things. Don't dance around stuff. Don't, what's the thing called, be a big stepper and act like you doing something when you really ain't. Have those deep conversations with yourself. Be honest with yourself, and then not only take accountability but take action. Improve on yourself. Shout to Trevor, man. He was sitting here and he was talking about the fact that, he got a comment. He got a comment from somebody, and that comment triggered him to start taking his physical health more seriously. And then once he started on that trend, it just snowballed. And if y'all watch that episode, if you know anything about me, I love Trevor, bro. Like, I love Trevor. I think that dude is the embodiment of what a neighborhood role model is. His energy is always upbeat. He's you know what I mean, outgoing. He's well spoken with these youth and community members, and he's connects the different ages and like he's just a beautiful human being, and I'm super proud of him. Super proud of him. You know what I mean? And you got to take that motivation from wherever, and he got that comment, and it made him take a hard look in the mirror. Then he had that conversation, and he just held himself accountable, and he went to work, and life just for me it appears like it's working out for him. He says it's working out for him, and you know how they say, mashallah, mashallah, God willing. It continues to work for him. Man, I want the universe for that dude, because I feel like he deserves it. And it's because he works. He does that work. He puts in that work. You know what I mean? And I aspire to do the same thing. I aspire to work towards accomplishing every dream that I have. And I'm not going to rest until I do so. I owe that to my inner child. I suppressed a lot of my inner child's dreams based on, school, parenting, people's opinions, peers, whatever the case. You know, I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today, and they were talking about the fact that, you know, they like doing Legos, but they feel a little embarrassed by it. But all of that, bro, do your Legos, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Do your Legos, bro. Don't let nobody tell you nothing, man. If that's what, don't make, what's that saying? Don't yuck somebody else's yum. If that's what makes you tick, man, that's what makes you tick. Who cares who feels different about it? Because at the end of the day, you got to live with you. You have to live with you. Ain't nobody got to live with you but you. And if you ain't making you happy because you're trying to please somebody else, good luck with that battle, man. You got to deal with that consciously. I always refer to the saying that was popularized by Nipsey. Would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, or at peace with yourself and at war with the world? I'd much rather be at war with the world than at peace with myself, because I know I gotta rock with this dude all day, every day, 24/7, 365. There's no escaping it. The world, I can shut that off. I can turn off. Well, I don't have X. I'm not on Instagram like that unless I need to be. I'm definitely not on Facebook like I was never really a Facebook guy, but I'm definitely not on Facebook like I tune the world out. Why? Because it can be too many opinions to try and cater to. You look at the public speakers and whatnot nowadays, and they're backflipping and backsliding here, there, and tap dancing and moonwalking, this, that, and the third. And it's just like, man, why can't you be your genuine self? Oh, I get it. Because public perception is all that you're running off of. And public perception constantly changes. So how could you possibly get comfortable? I get it. You know, and then I start actually feeling bad. Like it's funny. I have to catch myself certain times, but I genuinely will sit there and start feeling bad for certain people. Like, damn, they ain't comfortable in their skin. I'm sorry for their loss. You know, they're doing all of that for the gram. Damn, I'm sorry for their loss. Doing all of that trying to earn some proof your worth to somebody. So I'm so sorry for your loss. Like, at the end of the day, if you're at work and you're getting chewed out by your boss, you know whether you put 100% into that assignment or not. And if you didn't, and you don't like that job, then it's time to, like, be honest with yourself, be honest with your feelings, be honest with what you're trying to do, and navigate. If you can't leave that job, then you need to be honest with yourself and find the joy in it. I don't care what it is that you're doing. The ability to find joy in it is possible. It's just about your perspective. It's absolutely all about your perspective. Right? There was a point in time where I was making $14 an hour, saying that ain't enough or whatnot. But then got put in a situation where I was putting in just a similar amount of work and not getting paid for it, but was content with it because it was providing me an outlet and something to do. And I was like, okay, well, why can't I apply the same mentality to this gig that's paying me this actual money? Why am I going to let the money deter me from having that joy? Accountability, control. Just like that. I took control of the whole situation and made it change. Just like that. And it's made all the difference in the world for me. It's made the difference in the world for other people, because if people are being genuine and they appreciate my energy in the building, they appreciate what I'm doing with what I'm doing with these kids and the connections that I have and the way that I talk to them and the way that they talk about me, and if you appreciate all of that, then that's because of that mentality change that happened. And everybody watching this is capable of that. It's just, are you going to do that? Are you willing to make that switch and hold yourself accountable to that switch? Everybody can do this. But when you're doing this, that isn't for you. That's for me. That's to try and prove to me that you're I don't care. I don't have my jacket on, but it says trust issues on the back. And those trust issues were built for a long time because I realized a long time ago people do a lot of lip service. They say all the right things, you know what I mean, until it's time to show and prove, and then they do whatever they plan on doing, what serves them in the moment, right? So I don't put my weight into that. Like, if you're doing this, I wish you all the best. I hope you accomplish everything you're talking about. But if you don't, I'm not going to be heartbroken about it. In all honesty, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm more surprised and more impressed when that follow through does happen, when that walk does happen. When you start doing this rather than this, that's what impresses me. It's simple, right? And doing this makes more of a difference than this every time. Other part of playing that record, Be You, to start off the day, was because I wanted to give an example of the music that I listen to keep my energy even keeled, to keep my mindset in the right place, to keep my heart in the right place. You know what I mean? To set the tone for myself on a day-to-day basis. Excuse me, sorry. I'm gonna play another one right quick. Maybe not the whole record, but another one right quick. I'm gonna spare you Kendrick. Kendrick's all over my playlist. Yes, I'm a Toronto Mass, and I listen to Kendrick damn near exclusively. Anyways,
I start my mornings with breath
in a yoga pose. This one's called Morning Asana
filling my spirit with peace
by Londrell.
until it overflows.
Jeez.
I start my mornings with breath in a yoga pose,
That's right.
filling my spirit with love until I overdose. Yeah, my eyes closed, I'm in child's pose. I know life ain't perfect, but I smile though. Count my breath like 5, 4, 2, 1, and rise slow. Another day,
A new vinyasa.
with every breath, releasing
Jeez.
all my problems, all my chakras.
I'm so aligned.
I'm so aligned, I'm so divine.
Wake up in the morning and
I
I
celebrate,
say my
and
prayers.
I meditate. Wake up in the morning, then I levitate.
Do asana. Money,
I'ma
I'm a
meditate. Wake up in the morning and I celebrate. Say my prayers and then I meditate. Wake up in the morning, then I levitate.
do asana.
Pranayama meditate.
Yeah, shout out to Landro. Don't know who he is. Don't this is the one way that I do love the algorithm is certain records that I was listening to led to those records being introduced to me. And now I listen to some Landrell. Now I listen to some Ashley Du Bois. Um, Now I listen to some Chris and Teeb. You know what I mean? You know, I've been knowing about Toby uh, and Wigwe. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Shout out my Nigerian brother. Niger boy. I ain't gonna try and mess up the accent, man. I'm so Canadian, it's ridiculous, and I get reminded of that by every Nigerian that I do see. But it is what it is. But the algorithms introduced me to a lot of this stuff, and I am appreciative of that for the algorithm. And this music sets such an excellent tone for me during my day. Um, and just even like when I even go and think about, you know, you get songs stuck in your head. It's Christmas time right now, so there's Christmas carols and this, that, and the third. But I know once in a while, I'll have that in my head. Wake up in the morning and I levitate. Say my prayers and then I meditate. Wake up in the morning. What? Start my day with that ringing in my head. That's perfect. Or be you, do your things. Do your thing, yeah. Do your thing. Do your thing. Be you. What? Or even Fertile Soil by Free Soul featuring Landrell. We get you a little taste of that. Hold on, hold on. Jeez, the energy on man. Energy is so serious to me right now, man. If the energy ain't right, I ain't really rocking with it at all. Let go to grow. Let go to grow. Let go to grow. Yeah. Let go to grow. Yeah. With some love and attention, we gon' live off our garden. Yeah. We don't need your permission. Nope. We gon' follow our hearts, yeah. To all my indigo children, fighting for freedom. We gon' pledge allegiance. Nations that give birth through these creations. Jeez. Yeah, I ain't gonna go too deep with the record. I don't want to get copyright stricken or nothing like that. Probably gonna get some flags now, anyways. But it is what it is. But yeah, like I'm very intentional with what I listen to. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of these people on the wall, I don't listen to as much anymore, right? Because I see how influenced they were by being a celebrity, by being rich and famous, right? And not by being upstanding individuals. You watch a lot of these podcasts and hear a lot of these people, man, they weren't very happy. They weren't very content. They weren't in depth. It was very shallow living. And as they've gotten older and they matured a little more, they're trying to come back and do like I'm doing and try and preach a little different. The only caveat is I've actually let go of all of it. Some of those folks still try and posture up like I'm still the man, I'm still that dude, and don't make me and I'll still I don't care for it personally. You know what I'm saying? And um you know that's part of it. So I don't backtrack a lot. You know, every once in a while for nostalgia I might listen to something, but then I'm kind of like, oh, so what are you listening to? What do you want right now, bro? Like, all right, I'll let you indulge for a little bit, but you gotta get back to some, at some point in time, and that's the real of it, right? And I typically do for the most part. But control your energy. Be very, very deliberate with your energy. Don't be so frivolous with it. Don't take so lightly or for granted the fact that you binge watch Power. That's taking its effect, man. Into Raising Canaan, or you watch like all of this, and that's I'm just not blaming hip hop. It's not just the black culture and thing. Like, no, it's entertainment, right? The 911 shows, the real life rescues, the first 48s. There's so much programming that is out there, and we're not actually paying attention to its cause and effect. No, I don't think we're paying firm enough attention to the cause and effect of it. So just try it. Be mindful. They say, like, what is it? 21 days to form a new habit. You know what I mean? Try and be mindful of what you take in for a period of time and see how it serves you. And just go from there, man. That's all I ask, man. Um, Shoot, I feel like I've been talking for a while now. How long have I been talking for? Mess around and stop the meeting, anyways. Emails. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for giving me your time, man. Your attention is the best currency that I can ask for. All right. This is YouTube, so like, subscribe, share, comment, do all of those wonderful online things that make platforms like this popular, that makes platforms like this relevant and recommended. It makes the algorithm push it to more people. Um, let's start these conversations on how we can be better humans, better community members, better partners, better neighbors, better residents, better contributors. It's your boy also, in case you ain't know so. Rhymes also the sun, but also the most. Live and direct, Alexandra Park Community Center, in my office slash the control room. I don't know, maybe I'll get y'all a tour around this place at some point in time, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and get some people mad at me. I listen to this song probably once a day.